Well, hello again, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to my channel ArtDev. Today we'll be talking about making and turning any anime character into comics. It's a very strange headline for a very strange episode that many of us, when we try to draw Naruto, Kurosaki Ichigo, Kinpachi, whatever you're trying to do from anime into comics, you find it very hard and not able to translate every little detail while turning into comics. So you find yourself drawing the same drawing again with no comic features or no comic keys while drawing it. Well, today we'll be learning how to do so while I'm drawing Blackbird from the One Piece manga series by Chiroda. Well, let's split each drawing, manga, anime, comics, cartoon, into three parts, okay? The first part is face and hair structure. It's very important, hair structure for the anime. Second part is the body and the body mass. The third part is the inks, shadows and colors. As for the first part, when you try to mimic a character, an anime character, you fail to get the facial features. Well, try as hard as you can to translate those into a human being. When you try to do so and apply this theory, you'll find here is a sample I've collected for you for this episode. The first one is from the anime, as we can see, and the second one is done by artist Alvin Lee. It's done in Copic markers or whatever markers he's using by Alvin Lee. Well, as you can see, the difference between the first thing, the hair mass didn't change the mass change you were thinking, but we tried to give it a very circular, curvy sphere to try to turn it into kind of spiky hair, the style we all draw into comics, okay? The same thing we did while we're trying to draw his eyes. Most of the anime characters does have a big eyes, okay? I've read a couple articles before that the Japanese like doing this because they've learned from Walt Disney movies. But when you look at the eyes, you find it Alvin Lee kept the big eyes structure, but turned it into Kindle comics with the shadows of the eyebrows and the inner details for the nose. When you find the nose is the main difference, main change you do when you try to define if this is comics or this is an anime or manga character drawing. So you try to exaggerate those features like we did with the hair. We tried it into sphere. The face structure, okay, we tried to manipulate the lines through the eyes. When we did so with the eyes, made the eyebrows heavier and gave his jacket, and we didn't change that much with the jacket. What we can see, there's some weight in the lines. We didn't see this in the anime, but we might see it in the manga, okay? So here is the first things when you try to do, when you relating to the first part of the face and the hair structure, okay? Let's hit to the second part. which is the body and the body mass. Well, here's a shot from the anime of Street Fighter and the comic page done by Geomat. Okay? For the body mass, it doesn't have much difference, but you can see that in the comics sometimes we give the characters bigger limbs, bigger hands, feet, sometimes. It's not always, sometimes. And as for the body mass is kind of bigger when we try to exaggerate the body muscles and give them much more details. It's not a rule, and it's not always we do so. So we try to mimic, like I did with Blackbeard Pirate. He's got his Blackbeard is huge, right? So I did so while I made him more fat. So this is what I do. I try to exaggerate the body. Well, let's look again to another one done by Alvin Lee. As you can see, the lines are heavier. It got much more tense and dynamic, more details, and the arm got more detailed muscles than the one already drawn in the anime, while the hair got more details too. Okay, this hair part should be with the first part of the face structure, but we included it into this one. Well, as for the bandana, Alvin Lee made it longer and stretchier than the one already made in the anime. So we can consider this a more exaggeration to a body part, okay? And the same thing we did to the eyebrows. Keep this in mind when you try to draw. Just try as hard as you can to stick to the American comics school, so your work with editors and writers turns more easier. Let's return to the third part of our video. Third part is about the inks and the shadows. Okay, as you can see here is a page from Boku Hero Academy and a drawing of All Might drawn by Jim Lee. Okay, when you can look at the difference between the shading of All Might in the manga and All Might done by Jim Lee, you'll find two differences. The first thing is how the shadows are making difference between both. When you look at deep at the manga, you will find that them both are kinda similar. Why? It's because the kinda structure, the base structure of the manga of the Boku Hero Academy is based on superheroes, so it's kinda done or drawn by how the Americans do or draw the superhero comics, okay? But we can find some minor differences between them both. When you look at the shadows, Daiba and Jim Lee, they are very sold, very bold, very tense. While we turn away and look to the manga, you find there is some stretched lines done and very little cross-hatching. Okay, well, cross-hatching is very important for the American comics and always done. Some of you may mention Guns or some King Rock. What I will always tell you that there are more American artists do their works more than we can find in the manga. Okay, we can find so in the lower panel on the right of the All Might eyes, we can find very fast stretchy lines across his face, across his eyebrows, muscles, and beside his eyes. Okay, so this always done. But when we turn and look to the Jim Lee drawing, we can find that he used to the hair, he turned the hair into more like slick and turning back hair, right? When we look at the manga, it's very stiff and very hard looking, like we see in the anime. Like, it may differ between an artist and another, but in the final stage we can find that in many comics they turn it into more life, more dynamic, more feeling like their lives. Okay, so they don't change that much because they are better artists or so. Doesn't have anything to do with this. Okay, it's a different art with different tastes. They both related into turning scripts and written stuff and turning it into image, into living paper. So it's not minor, it's bigger differences, and they both are amazing, they both are great. Well, learning to do so and controlling those three major lines, I already mentioned the face structure, number one. Number two, the body and the mouth. The third part is the inks, shadows, and the colors. Okay, all of the comics, all of the American comics, by like 80%, it's colored. Okay, while all the mangas, they must be in black and white. So it's like differences between the print types and other stuff like this. I may be doing research and telling you more about it in a future episode, but now just contain those three major points into your mind when you try to turn any anime or manga character into comics. Okay, so another thing that I forgot to tell you is the limbs. The limbs are very important, so try as hard as you can daily to draw gesture drawings of the body part, the limbs, the hands and the feet. It's a body language. We all look at it. If you are a manga artist or a comic artist, we both look at it. So it's very important to do so. It's the tips of communication and contacting each other through the body moves and controlling the balance of the body. So keep those in check and save your time and save my time and draw gesture daily, draw limbs daily. Okay, many thanks again guys for watching. Hope I added something new for you. Many of us may have known it and others didn't know, so I'm sharing what I know with you. I enjoy sharing with you my knowledge. If you like my video, please subscribe. If you got any question, please contact me on social media. I know it's very hard times, but I know that the human power, the human will pass it through, and we are going to pass it and control our lives again. Until then, looking forward to Tokyo again, and goodbye.